Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Virgo. If Virgo is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. All right, let's get started. Okay, knock, knock, knock. Let's see, what do these tea leaves have to say? Wow, so we have a big hole right there. It's going to be it's all emotional, all in the emotional zones up here on the edges. So this is, something's going on. I'm excited to find out because, if you don't know already, I am a solar Virgo. So I always wonder, what are we going to see here? All right, so we also have the Ace of Cups as our card for today. And this is a card that has to do with kind of that most holy vessel, that holy grail, that thing that kind of is the container for the waters of the divine waters, right? The waters of life, the thing that flows through all of us, kind of flows through most things, right? Here on earth. And this is kind of that, you know, emotional perfection, or at least the will for emotional, spiritual unification and perfection, the consciousness to strive for that, the journey, the hero's quest, questing for that holy grail. Okay, so let's see, how does that have to do with any of this? All right, so we have a person here, and way across over here we have a person and a person. This one almost seems like we have male, female, or masculine, feminine, okay? Over here, I don't know, but somebody else. So I feel like this is kind of like a couple, a team over here, and then this person kind of the outlier, okay? So I feel like there's been some big emotions going on, if not now, in the past, for sure, okay? I think that there's been this distance, a chasm between what I imagine is maybe like your spouse, your spouse's, maybe they have a child with somebody else, before you. This is like they're in a co-parenting situation. So you and your spouse, and they have an ex, they've had a child with somebody else. They share the custody, or maybe it's an adult now, the child, but there's still kind of that link, okay? I also think, I almost just get also this impression that it could be something like, maybe it's your adult child's like significant other, something, but it's somebody who is not directly related to you, but is in your life and has a fairly profound impact on your life at times, okay? And I feel like this has been troubled. Maybe not directly you and this person, but just in general. It has affected your life in a way that has been troublesome in the past. Okay, I do think, though, that this has been worked on, okay? And now when I turn this, it looks like this person's kind of an angel, okay? And I see these still two people kind of over, there's still the separation. So this is why I think, okay, this is not somebody that's super close. Okay, let me get off of there. Thank you. Okay. But again, in your life, affects your life. We have a person up here who's kind of gazing up. Now, this is where it's kind of interesting to me. It seems like all of this work that you've done, probably over the years, it could be, you know, more short term, that everything's kind of like come into a place of harmony. But I think that this has been something that's been going on over a long period of time, okay? And you've come into a place where everybody kind of knows their role. There is a sense of, you know, harmony to some degree, as much as a family can be in harmony, and an extended, and, you know, whatever, all these people that play roles. And it's gone into a place where there's a lot of ease. Okay, I think things get done. The communications are limited, and, you know, everybody just kind of gets along. Okay. But I'm seeing this person gazing up here, and I feel that you have found something out, or you've seen something, you've witnessed something. I imagine it would be on like something like social media, on the internet, because isn't that where we just find out the most rotten stuff about people on accident? It's like, well, sometimes you can be digging, but you know, when you just accidentally see some weird comment, or you recognize somebody, you know, on some other platform, and whatever it is, you accidentally find out some stuff. So I think that you have found something out about this person. And it's a dilemma, because if you tell your child, your adult child, your spouse, your in-laws, whoever it is that you would be telling, it's going to throw everything into chaos. And you've worked hard to find your peace. And this doesn't really have that much to do with you, right? You kind of just... it feels a little bit like a betrayal, omitting this information. And then I see the sickle. Are you ready for the kind of, you know, thrashing that comes with all hell breaking loose among family members that are not directly yours, right? Being the messenger is not that fun, right? It's not. And depending on what you found out, you know, of course, if it was something dire, or, you know, would lead to harm of somebody, or whatever, you know, there are circumstances where, of course, you have to say something. But I think there's a lot of things too where it's like, is it worth starting all of this? And so I think that there's kind of just this sense of, and here, this one, it looks like a person who is stirring a pot, or tending a fire, right? Do you want to be the person that is starting all this? Because really, you know, there's no situation where, if you are a parent of a child and they are in love with somebody or married to somebody, if you speak ill of that person, there's rarely a time when they want to hear that from you, unless it's something really important, right? You're just kind of throwing yourself under the bus a bit. And if this is, you know, a co-parenting thing, and you are not the biological parent of the child, or you're a grandparent, or whatever it is, okay, and very much involved in their life, but maybe not the core decision maker, you have to kind of consider, like, is this information worth causing upheaval, you know, that will affect everybody, including the child or the adult child or whatever. And so it's hard, you know. It's hard. Yeah, and I said I'm a Virgo, so I know we like to just say what things are. I hate when something makes me emotional. I do not like to keep it in. Something gets me twisted up, I have to say it. Even if it's something really silly. You know, like, oh, the neighbor drove down the street too fast again. You know, I have to tell somebody. Even if it's something just, you know, benign. But there are times when it's like, okay, let's see how long I can hold this in. And hopefully in a few days I'll forget about it. It won't be as important. Something else will be more important by then. So I think this is kind of the big news for you, this little cycle. I'm also seeing, and it looks like a person kind of sitting on top of a beetle, like a rhinoceros beetle. And this really, to me, just screams patience. Taking your time with things. Just really considering all of the variables, all of the possible outcomes. And I think really, honestly, you know, I don't know about you, but when something makes me uncomfortable or I know something I don't want to know, I just kind of avoid all the situation in general. Like I'll get real busy all of a sudden, right? I'm really, really into doing my own activities, kind of staying in my own lane, you know, going headfirst into something else that keeps me kind of inaccessible for a while. And just hoping that everything kind of passes unnoticed. And if somebody finds out, it had nothing to do with me, right? I don't know. Wow, that's, you know, my favorite response. Wow, that's crazy, really? You know. So let's see, what else do we have? What else? And this one's interesting. We kind of have a hill here, but then we have it looks like a hummingbird, and it looks like it's nose to nose with another bird. And so again, this hummingbird motif that has been a lot lately. I love the hummingbird, and shout out to my sister. Her totem animal is the hummingbird, and she is also a Virgo. Now, I am an August Virgo. She is a September Virgo. And so apparently we're quite different. Which we are. There we have our differences, definitely. But yeah, so this is interesting to me, seeing this. And actually, interestingly, with the hill, we were just talking about mound builders in North America. And if you don't know what they are, they're these earthen mounds. They were built by, nobody really knows exactly what society built them. But also, if you don't know, I'm Native American mixed. And so some indigenous tribes, or the people that were previous to the modern indigenous tribes of America, the Americas, were building these kind of complexes. They think they were sacred, in the form of animals, and they were kind of just these mounds of earth. They were shapes and different kinds of figures or patterns or whatever. They're all over the place. A lot of them, you know, their development has covered them and stuff. But they are tied to in kind of folklore. This is in parapsychology and things like this. Kind of coast to coast type stuff, if you know what that is. They're tied to a lot of paranormal, kind of UFOs, Bigfoot, the Fae, like Skinwalker, you know, all kinds of stuff. Different tribes, depending on where you were. There are obviously many tribes, so different nuances of folklore and mythology and stories tied to creatures and things that had to do with these sacred spaces. So this is interesting, seeing this. So I think that what's coming to mind for me in my own, and listen, I know sometimes if you've even gotten this far, you're really riding through. I get comments where people are like, I hate hearing your anecdotal stuff. I hate hearing your stories about yourself. This isn't about you. Well, again, I'm going to do the scribe. I like this to be like a conversation, and I bring up things that are in my mind. I'm the reader. This is coming through my psyche. So I'm going to talk about things that are familiar to me. Okay. And if that bothers you, that's okay. You can find somebody else to do your readings. I will not miss you. So, sorry. But for those of you that do enjoy this, I feel like it seems like there is this kind of uncanny, almost kind of there's something in the air in your life where maybe you're experiencing something at home, hopefully not ghosts, but you know, maybe it's kind of an otherworldly feeling, maybe outside of your home. Just kind of a lingering energy that has kind of come in and taken root a bit. Okay. I also, with the hummingbird, it seems very energetic because this is, you know, they move around fast. Here, there, everywhere, flitting about. And so, I feel like this is at times really fast moving. And it could be, what comes to mind for some reason is things going missing in your home. Beyond just things being misplaced, but things being moved. Like, you know where, you're a Virgo, you know where you put your stuff. We know. That's one of my roles in the family is I know where everything is. I just do. You know, where are those socks? Oh, they're 3 down and 2 over. I just folded them and put them away like 5 days ago. I know exactly where they're at. We just keep track and stock of things in our lives. So when something's misplaced or moved and it's not a family member or somebody you lived with or whatever, you get that feeling like, oh, something's going on here. Not sure what it is, but I'm going to find out, right? So I feel like there's something maybe akin to paranormal. Maybe you just need to get some more rest. That's what I need. Just a little more rest, a couple more hours of sleep. So I think that's our reading here. Oh, I forgot this part here. And this is interesting because it looks to me not unlike a divining rod. Now, if you don't know what a divining rod is, or dowsing rods, they have different shapes where they have the ones that are like kind of an L shape and you hold them like this, right? It would be kind of like one going down. You hold it like this and you kind of go like that. And they would find water sources with these. But they also have ones where it's kind of like this. It's like a branch from a tree where it's split off and you hold it in 2 hands and it goes together like that. And you kind of, you know, point around. And the energy will kind of pull you. It's not unlike the idea of like a, what is it? Oh, like a Ouija board with the planchette. kind of moves itself, but you have to put your energy into it. So these kinds of divining rods are like that. So maybe you don't have a divining rod. You could go find one though, right in your backyard probably. But I think what this is telling me is that you can use your intuition to try to figure out, what is this feeling going on? Maybe you commune with it, but be careful, especially if you don't have a lot of background in communing with unknown things. But, you know, if you do, maybe use your chosen divination, you know, whatever I mean, tea leaves, tarot cards, sticks, geomancy, whatever it is. I also like to read grains and corn and these kinds of things as well. And you can also, you know, use dreams, vision work, whatever it is. Whatever it is, it seems like it's kind of interested in you becoming aware of it. Now it's up to you if you want to take that invitation, right? Do you really want to directly commune with something like that? I don't know. It depends how you feel. You know, do you have, you know, are you protected well, right? Are you spiritually protected, psychically protected? These are all things to consider. So I want to thank you. This is my last reading of the night, and I am ready to get into bed now. And I do want to thank you for spending this time with me. It is always such an honor. I'd love to hear about your house guest or any of the other things that we talked about tonight. If you would be so kind as to like the video, it's helping us get into the algorithm. The channel is growing. We just surpassed 12,000 subscribers. So yay. We're doing so well here, us as a community, and that includes you. If you haven't subscribed, please think about doing that. You can hit the little bell. It'll let you know when the next videos are coming out. If you want to share the video, you know, watch the video all the way through. You know, I'm not above asking for engagement. It really does help with the algorithm, I guess. So, the other thing, oh, leaving a comment. That's my favorite though, because then I get to know you a little bit. I love reading all the comments. I love interacting with you all. I try to get back to you on the comments, you know, immediately if I can, but sometimes it takes a day or so, just because I have a toddler. I have a busy toddler with infinite energy. So we do, we have a lot going on, but I want to thank you again, and we will talk again in just a few days, Virgo.